What makes Dome Keeper a great game? It's a great question. Is it only one thing or an amalgamation of many things? In this video, the start of a new series, I'm going to be deep diving into all the aspects of Dome Keeper. Developed by Bip and Bits, published by Raw Fury, and released on September 27th, 2022, 1 year later, we are talking about the latest obsession encapsulating my ADHD-riddled brain. I'm going to be splitting this analysis into 4 sections to thoroughly explain why I think Dome Keeper is a great game. Honestly, it's probably one of the first things that you notice when you're strolling through your recommended feed in your Steam library, or perusing TikTok and finding random game clips from indie game developers, or however else you ingest new games. The art style is the first thing that draws you in. And actually, that's why I wishlisted this game in the first place. I think it came up on my recommended for you on my Steam page, and I wanted it. It looked really neat, and I clicked on it, and it seemed like the kind of game I wanted to play. So I put it on my wishlist and waited for it to go on sale, or maybe I didn't. I don't remember if I bought it immediately. I can't remember. But clearly, by the graphic style, you can tell that it's 8-bit. Art style is full of pixels and great detail, and kind of brings a hint of nostalgia. A lot of those are very good for me personally, but I can understand why that might scare some other people off. But I find the art style very simplistic and super easy to understand. The art style is definitely a way that the game makes it easier to get into and understand. Such as the palette changes. So the further down you go inside the mines, different layers are designated by colors. It can go from gray to blue to purple, or anything like that. It makes it very obvious, like, oh hey, this is the next area, it will be harder. Things like that. And also, the palette changes from game to game are super fun. It changes the primary and the secondary color of your character, or your dome, or the outside world. It truly is very wonderful. I do love the art style of this game. They do little things like tiny little creatures crawling over your iron that you left in the bottom of the mine, and fauna that grows the longer that the blocks are left there alone. It's a lot of small details put into something to make it feel fleshed out and wonderful, and it's really nice to see, genuinely. This game is wonderful. It is so easy to just dump a lot of time into. For a moment, I want to talk about the difference between roguelite versus roguelike. So, a roguelike, to my understanding, is something that provides no progression for each of the runs that you start. There's no cross progression across the different runs that you do. A game like Risk of Rain 2 is technically a roguelite because you unlock more items for your next runs, whereas a roguelike would be just the same game over and over and over and over. Dead Cells is a wonderful example of roguelite versus roguelike. I believe roguelike means that there is no progression to make the game easier or faster in between runs, if that makes sense. This game is just fucking awesome. It's everything that I look for in a roguelite. It's procedurally generated, so it's never the same. I'm never doing the exact same thing twice. The replayability is super high. It's cozy, where I can kind of just listen to something else, or even just listen to the soundtrack of the game and kind of zone out and have a really good time. Just playing and mining, and it's like all the good things about Minecraft without the peril and obsessiveness that I have about Minecraft, if that makes sense. I can be cozy and enjoy my time with this game. I literally, no joke, 2 days ago, was playing, and I did a huge map on brutal difficulty, which is the base game, the base difficulty that they want you to play on. And I spent probably about an hour just mining out everything in the entire thing. And then I got a little greedy, got the final relic, and died right before my dome imploded, right before I got to the top with it. Because I was being a little greedy boy, and I finished the run, and I was like, that was fun. Like, I spent all that time, and still didn't, like, succeed, but still had a really good time. So I think that might lean a little towards why this game would be worth it. Like I said, the replayability is huge. I specifically put this game down for a few months, and came back to it to see if it would still encapsulate me, and it did. It genuinely was really good. I picked it back up again, and I sank like 4 hours into it again. It was very good time. The replayability of this game is super high. There's quite a few different ways that you can augment the game, like different weapons or different characters, or there's so many of the relics, and there's random obtainable items, like a little guy that flies around and picks up a single one of your resources that you left out and takes it to the top. Or there's a mushroom that grows and turns your character a different color and makes you really, really fast. There's just a ton of random caverns and rooms that give you different boons and bonuses, and let alone you pick up one of the relics or bonuses that you can add to the basement of your dome, and that's just random every time, or you could shred it and get more resources. It's really, really fun. The randomness, and honestly, I think the game is very easy at base. If you play the game how you should. Like, there is a kind of a recipe to follow. Not that there is a right way, but there is an easier way to follow. The skill trees in this are really easy to understand. I will say that a few of them I just naturally don't want to pick because they don't sound as fun to me, so I don't pick them. But the skill trees are very fleshed out, and they're very well balanced as well. I can see why some runs go the way they do because of how I built my skill trees. It's very neat. The enemies are super fun. I mean, you have two basic types. It's like on the ground or in the sky. And it's very basic, but there's a very clear difference between each and one of them, and it's super easy to grasp. I will say that this game is very, very easy to grasp and enjoy. I'm probably going to say this a lot in this series, the more videos we continue to do, but the ones that really stick out to me, the games that will really stick out to me, is the ones that I can feel the passion from. Passion is something we lose a lot of, I think, as we get older. It's easier to become less passionate about certain things, or fall out of passion with things, or prioritize other things. But when I play a game and I can feel the love put behind it and the intention that they want to make a certain game, it makes me feel very good. And I am gonna bring this up a lot, I'm sure, in this series, but I can feel the passion in Dome Keeper, and it makes me love it all that much more. I really appreciate you guys watching. I would hope if you made it this far, you would maybe think about subscribing and maybe liking the video. It would really mean a lot to me. And maybe comment down below what kind of game you want to see me cover next. I chose Dome Keeper because, like I said, it was literally an obsessive thing for me. I got hyper fixated on it, and I've been playing the shit out of it. So I found something that I really, really liked. So if you want to see me cover any other games, let me know down below. That'd be sweet. The consistency of sound in this game flowing together, nothing feels out of place, is really impressive. You have the ambient music when you're maybe going from the battle to the depths of the mine, and the transition there is seamless. The battle music makes you feel like you're there to defeat something, and you do, and you get a nice chime that's like, "Hey, you did it, good job," and you dive into the mine, and it gives you this cozy, smooth music that is thoroughly enjoyable. Not only the music flowing together from battle to mining, but the sound effects and the little noises from creatures and the sound effects from you dropping resources or mining resources. It all flows together very, very well. Nothing feels out of place and nothing is jarring. You can play this game just listening to the soundtrack and the sound effects and be lost inside of it. I genuinely think so. The ambient noise is wonderful. I genuinely do think that this deserves its own OST. And wouldn't you know, on their Steam page, they offer the OST. And anytime they offer to buy the OST, you know it's a banger. That's all I'll say. This soundtrack slaps. I love the little noises that Drillbert makes. I love the sound of the teleporters. I love the sounds of the different enemies, even though some of them are a little panic-inducing. I think it all fits in very well. So this one comes in at a crisp $17.99 USD. The way that I tackle price in my head, at least, is $1 to an hour. So this game is $18. If I play this game for 18 hours, that game was worth it. Absolutely worth it. I have put more than 18 hours into this game, definitely. So we can confidently say that this game was worth it for me. I think that's a pretty fair basis to think if a game is worth it or not. But let me know what you think. This isn't my most played game by any means on Steam, but it stood out enough to me to make a video calling it great, because I genuinely do think this game is great. I enjoyed every single second of my time, even when I was trying out new things that I wasn't specifically excited about, like some of the skill trees. Like, I still had a thoroughly good time playing this game, and none of the time I spent playing this game do I wish I had back, which is a huge thing for me. This game is genuinely worth the money. If you're, I would definitely pay $18 for this full again. If you're a little worried about it, just wait until it goes on sale. But games like this, I like supporting the team that makes it. And I would thoroughly pay $18 for this game, absolutely. But there you have it. There's my breakdown of why Dome Keeper is a great game. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. It really does mean the world to me. If you could, it would help me out a ton. Please subscribe and maybe like the video or show it to a friend or share it in your Discord or something else like that. It would really mean a lot to me. But if you made it this far, let me know what games you want to see covered for my opinion on. Thank you guys so much, and I'll talk to you soon.